Hey there, Mike Robbins here, and I want to make a video about working from home. Now, many of us, if we're fortunate enough to have a job that allows us to work from home, are being forced to work from home right now because of the coronavirus. And while it's an incredibly stressful and challenging time in the world, and there's a lot of uncertainty and fear and stress, understandably, this thing of working from home, which often is seen as a good thing, a perk, a benefit. Hey, I get to work from home a couple days a week. Isn't that cool? Has now changed in a pretty significant way because we're being forced to work from home. And everyone on our team and in our company and most of the people we're interacting with are working from home. So I want to give you 5 specific things to think about, tips, ideas that you can utilize during this time that can allow you to be more effective working from home. Now, one thing to think about before we dive into the 5 things is it's really a privilege, it's a blessing to be able to work from home. Think about how many people right now are not able to do so. So if you're fortunate enough to have a job where you can, it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, if you're working in retail or you're working in hospitality or you're working in certain industries that don't allow you to work from home, you can't do your job from home, your business, the type of work you do is basically shut down or on hold right now. My heart goes out to people like that. My business is impacted. Many people's businesses and works are impacted by the travel restrictions and people not going places. So it's something for us to think about. But assuming that you do have a job where you get to work from home, let's think about a few things. It's challenging, right? It's stressful. Maybe you have kids or a spouse or people at your house. You can't go anywhere. You have to figure out how to navigate your job and all your responsibilities and all the stress and fear and what's going to happen and the uncertainty and still get your job done. So what can you do? The first thing you can do, and this is really important, I've been talking a lot about this recently, is take care of yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean your self-care practices. I mean making sure you're getting some sleep and you're eating and you're exercising, even if it's a bit modified because maybe you can't go to the gym or a yoga class, but doing something that can allow you to care for yourself. Maybe it's meditating, maybe it's writing in a journal, maybe it's going for a walk, maybe it's doing yoga. I do some yoga here in my office. I have a little rebounder over there that I jump on. Little things that we can do to care for ourselves. It's so important right now, especially if we're feeling stressed and our routine has changed. We got to really focus on self-care. The second thing that we can do is to actually set up some rituals, some routine. Our routines are different significantly. Even if you normally work from home, it's different now. Here in California, we're in a shelter-in-place mode right now. Maybe that's true for you. Maybe that will be true. But can you set up some rituals, some routine? I read a post online just a couple days ago that was talking about getting dressed like you're going to work. Again, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to just be in your sweats or in your workout clothes. That's fine. But what routines can you set up? For a lot of us, maybe we're not used to working at home. Maybe our kids are home from school or our spouse is also working at home and we're on top of each other. There's not really a space. We don't have an extra bedroom or a spare table or a space. Can we set up some kind of ritual, some kind of routine that gets us into work mode in a productive way that can allow us to focus, even knowing we're probably going to be distracted and there's going to be other people around us that want or need our attention? Or if we live alone, can we set up so there is some space between where we work and where we live? As someone who's worked from home for the last 20 years for the most part, I mean, I have an office here, it's at my house, and in other houses I've had rooms or spaces. I remember learning early on I needed to have a delineation between where work was and where life was, even if it was just sort of a metaphoric space, but have some ritual, some routine, something that's demarcates, if you will, if that's even a word, where we go work versus when we're not working. The third thing is we got to be flexible. Be flexible with ourselves, be flexible with the people at our house or in our apartment or where we're working, be flexible with the people we work with. This is a changing, ever-changing, evolving, somewhat stressful environment that we find ourselves in. So can we be flexible? And knowing that some things are going to work and they might work for a while and then they're not going to work so well, or we're going to have to change, we're going to have to pivot, we're going to have to do some things differently. Obviously, working at home is different than working in the office, so we got to be flexible with that. The fourth thing we can do is ask for help. Most of us are good at offering help or at least giving help of others, or if someone comes and asks us, but most of us aren't that good at asking for help. right? I love the saying, the answer is always no if you don't ask. We all need help in different ways. We need practical help sometimes. I was literally on the phone with Meredith, who's on our team, yesterday, just asking her, like, hey, how does this work? And I forgot how to do this, and I wanted to get on Facebook Live, and I hadn't done it in a while, and I needed her to coach me. I needed her to remind me. She had to look some stuff up and tell me because it had been a while. Sometimes we need help, like we just need some emotional support. We need to talk to someone. We need to, right? It's isolating right now. If you're an extrovert like me, it's challenging. I'm used to being around people. I love being around people. I'm energized by being around people. Now I'm here in my house with Michelle, my wife, and our girls, Samantha and Rosie, who I love dearly, but this is very different. So can we reach out and ask for support from our team, from our friends, from our family, in a practical way, in an emotional way, whatever the case may be? The fifth thing that we can do is be real about how we feel, both about the help we need, but what's going on. I don't know about you, but this whole thing has been a bit of an emotional roller coaster for me. Some moments I'm up, some moments I'm down, some moments I feel really inspired and engaged, other moments I feel overwhelmed. I think most of us are in some version of shock, and if you're watching this video right as we've just gotten into this process, you'll know even more of what I'm talking about. If it's been a few weeks or a few months or even a few years by the time you watch this, maybe you're in a different headspace, but it's important for us to be real about how we feel, about what's going on for us, about what we need, about what's working, what's not working. If we can remember those 5 things, right? Take care of ourselves, set up some ritual and routine, be flexible with ourselves, with others, ask for help, the help and support we really need, and be real about how we're feeling. Not only can we be more effective at working from home in this sort of everyone's in a remote location environment, but we can actually thrive. We can grow. We can get stronger and better in this process. We got to also remember that we're all in this together. Take care. Good luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.